Here again today. Absolutely loving answering everyone's questions and connecting and building this beautiful community. I am currently in Melbourne and it's a little bit of a rainy, overcast day, but it's still quite hot and humid out there. Welcome to Australia. Um, so I just had a coaching session with a client and I have a beautiful success story to share. I actually have a couple of awesome success stories. One of them I posted an hour or two ago from a client that I've worked with a couple of times who is just so gorgeous and fantastic and committed to the law of assumption and incorporating it in her life. And she basically took her person off the pedestal. And it's a really good topic for today because I find that a lot of people put their specific person up on a pedestal and they forget who they are. You're the operant power, not your person. You're in charge, not your person, not anyone outside of you. So this success story that I posted this morning from a client, it was about how she sort of pulled her energy back, focused on herself, focused on self-love, deep self-concept, knowing that she's the only operant power. She's the only one creating here in her reality. Essentially, she's the boss lady, no one else. And so many magical things happen for her. She said that she started getting a lot more compliments about her looks, feeling better in herself, and that her specific person had blocked her and then recently unblocked her and was coming forward, taking action, wanting to talk, wanting to meet up. And, my client was just like so chilled out about it, couldn't really care less. And her specific person was like, oh, I thought you'd be mad with me. And, you know, this client was just, being so relaxed and just so fantastic about it all. So there is so much power in putting the focus, attention, self love, onto yourself and taking it off your specific person. Because when we put all of our energy, attention, focus onto our specific person, we're giving so much of our power away, and it's just not worth it, and it's just not really going to benefit you with manifesting. So when we bring the love back to ourselves, we focus on, deepening and building our self-love, self-concept, taking our person off the pedestal. Hello there. How are you? Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining. I'm going to say Ampalopo. Love it. Matt Wright and Ella. Thank you so much for being here. We're talking about taking our person off the pedestal today. No, sorry, I don't. But yeah, I mean, manifesting applies to all areas of life. So, it's just something that we want to really tap into is the self-love that we have going on for ourselves. And we just don't want to, be focusing on anything else other than the self-love for ourselves, because this is what will really bring, um, everything to you, essentially. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, feel free. Hello. Okay, awesome. So back to these success stories. I was just talking about a really fantastic success story with one of my clients, and she just had so much success when she really brought herself and the attention back to herself and off of her, specific person, because this is what was just causing so many problems for her. So when she finally just took the time to simply go within and focus on herself, this is when she had magical results. So that is one of my success stories from this morning that I posted. Another one that came through from a client this morning was similar in a way, but she had sort of started being sort of seeing this guy and had a really deep connection. It was all going really well. And then all of a sudden he pulled away and she was, we had all this pressure onto someone outside of us. So what we did was we did some beautiful inner conversations with her specific person. We also, did some meditating around the new story. And we really had to let go of fears, doubts, and anxieties. So it only took 2 weeks, and her specific person came back, messaged, reached out, wanted to know where she was, what she was up to, and her specific person deeply apologized for pulling away. They said, I was just busy with work and I'm so sorry, but I'm here now. I had all these feelings. I didn't know what to do with them. And when he said he had all these feelings and thoughts, it's because he was having all these feelings and thoughts. So everyone is just simply reflecting your story about them. So we want to make the stories really simple, like really simple and easy to just dive into. If anyone has any questions about this, feel free to post, because I do a lot of sessions with clients around your specific person and love, romance, relationships, also money, career, finance, self-concept, so many things. But I do find that a lot of people are sort of struggling in the area of love more than in any other topic. But feel free to ask questions. Hello. And so yeah, this was another really awesome success story from a client that I was just having a coaching session with this morning. So her and her SP are now back in consistent communication. She's cleaned up her story, and instead of her story being around fear, abandonment, being rejected, it is now about consistency, loyalty. Her person is deeply committed. Her SP is all in with her. They only want to be with her. They're showing up in so many beautiful ways, consistent communication, taking the action, planning the dates, and moving things forward in a very natural, beautiful, organic way. So my client is now not really having to do much at all, which is really cool. So they're able to just sort of relax, take a break, and, just enjoy the whole process now. So that's really nice. And it's meant to be relaxing and calming and simple. Sometimes it's not always easy when we have negative stories, or maybe we've been through trauma or something like this in our lives, especially in childhood. Often when we have childhood trauma, it can really affect, so much of our behavior and stories and decisions and things that we do in life. So, that's where revision really comes in handy. It's such a deep process doing revision. And we do that in sessions as well, which is it's such a beautiful thing to see the transformation and the shift. So yeah, my client is really happy now, and I'm so happy for her, and she's going to keep updating me. But it's just such a great, success story about how things can change so quickly in a matter of weeks for her. For others, it can be, a matter of days, hours, months, whatever it is. It really comes down to the amount of resistance that you have going on, or the amount of relaxation that you have going on, and trust, and just knowing that everything's working out perfectly for you, and you don't need to go out there and take any action in the 3D to make things happen. You don't need to try and manipulate or force your person or convince them of anything or have any big chats out there. The chats that we want to be having are our internal chats. This is where it's all at. 4D internal beautiful stories. And we want to be having beautiful stories with everyone, with everything. And it's all in relation to you. Who am I, and how does everybody in my reality now show up for me? That's what we want to really focus on. If you have any questions, feel free to post. I love answering them. I do get a lot of questions around, circumstances. And I was talking about this yesterday, about how some people say, well, my circumstances are the worst in the world and nothing's going to change. And this doesn't work. And I get it, and I've totally been there. But no circumstances matter, truly. They just truly don't, because the power is in the now. And the power is in taking all of the focus, attention, energy off your specific person and placing it on yourself. Placing it on yourself so that you are really able to just relax, dive into self love, dive into self respect, understand what your boundaries are, know how you expect to be treated. And when you know how you expect to be treated, people will then turn up that way for you. So, taking your specific person off the pedestal is truly one of the fastest ways that you can manifest them and manifest a beautiful, loving relationship. Because once again, everything is about you. Everything is about how you feel about yourself and everybody else around you in relation to that. So it's not meant to feel hard. It's not meant to feel challenging. And I think, like I've said in previous live videos, that if things are starting to feel challenging, it's because you're too much in the 3D, mucking around out there, taking too much action, trying to force things, maybe manipulate, and often sometimes trying to prove your worth, prove that you're worthy and deserving of this relationship, you know. And I've even had clients, reach out to their specific person and constantly, when you just send too many messages and they're like, hey, what's going on? I thought we had a great time. Where did you go? What did I do wrong? I know we've all been there, but it's just like, it's exhausting, and we just don't need to do that. And we just don't need to like try and force or prove our worth to anyone, because you're already so deserving of a loving, committed, fulfilling relationship. You're already worthy. You are the prize. So I want you to just understand that this is all about you and how you carry yourself in the world, and what your stories are. So a little example of, a really great self concept and something that you could incorporate in your daily practice are some of these affirmations. And these affirmations sort of really, they start to build your new story, because we essentially want to just be this new story now, because you are it, you are everything, you are God of your reality, you have operant power. So we want a good story. So you could start saying things like this, and this is related to specific person stuff. So I want to say, I'm worthy, I'm chosen, I'm always chosen, I'm so deserving of a loving and deeply committed relationship. My SP is devoted to me. My SP will do anything for me. My happiness is their happiness. They are loyal. They only want to be with me now. They are deeply committed. They are all in. I am their dream person. They don't want to do life without me. They know that this is the most incredible, loving relationship that they've ever experienced, and they're all in every way. And they take all the action now. They move our relationship forward. They're introducing me to their family and friends. They're taking me on the most romantic dates. We travel the world together. They make me feel safe and secure. I'm chosen. I'm the priority. I am the number one priority in my SP's life. There's nothing they wouldn't do for me. They're all in, so we want to do that, and we want to feel it real too. And when we start saying these affirmations and stepping into the new story, we really do start to feel it, and this becomes our new identity. So I really intend that that was helpful, and that you can now, step into this new beautiful story that you're the only opera power, and your SP is not on the pedestal anymore. You're on the pedestal, and everyone is trying to, win you over, because you're the prize. Everyone's trying to, get your attention and make you fall in love with them and get you to commit. Like, just, especially if you've been having a bit of a tough time. So, yeah, that is essentially the importance of taking your specific person off the pedestal. And this also applies to money and career and, anything that you feel with, you have to remember that you're the only operant power of your reality, no one else. So you're in control here. You're in charge. You get to decide how people show up for you, essentially. And if people aren't showing up for you, it's a great way to see your blocks and move through them, because the 3D is always showing us, what's going on internally. The 3D is the mirror, it is the reflection of your 4D internal world. And I want you to also really embrace your internal world and go crazy with your imagination. Oh, thank you for that. I want you to go really crazy with your imagination and be limitless, because you can have anything. You can do anything, you can be anything. And I know sometimes these sound like one-liners, but we really are the only person that can limit ourselves or set ourselves free. So again, it comes back to you being operant power and knowing that you are in charge, no one else. So I really intend that that was helpful. Feel free to leave comments, posts, success stories on any of the videos or posts. I love engaging with everyone. I'm available for live coaching. I've got a few more coaching sessions to do today with clients, and I'm so excited to update with new success stories, because I think it really helps to, inspire everyone and just, let everyone know that this actually does work. And if you have any doubts, just try it out with something smaller. You could try it out with money and start manifesting money and start seeing money on the ground, or people giving you money, all sorts of things, getting a free cup of coffee, a newspaper, someone giving you flowers, just something small if you have a lot of resistance going on. And then you could move it up to, people giving you compliments, people telling you you're beautiful. I was in this big shopping mall here in Melbourne last week, and I was putting my lipstick on, and it was a new lipstick. And I just, I love a bright lip. And this lady came up to me and she said, "I love your lipstick. You're so beautiful. What a great color on you." And I was like, thank you so much. And I hadn't even really been focusing on compliments or anything like that, because I'm just naturally feeling good and relaxed and just trusting and having a good time. And when you feel good, relaxed, and trusting, people want to be around that energy too, because they want what you have in terms of feeling good, feeling at ease, allowing, trusting, being in the flow. And just quickly, finally, one of the really amazing things about manifesting is the more that you relax, the more you're in the flow state and the receiving state, the more you actually receive. So it's kind of awesome if you're able to just sort of relax and settle in and trust the universe, trust the timing and the how of everything, and just view everything as working in your favor. Everything, even if it looks like absolute crap out there. Because some days we have those moments where we're like, nothing's shifting, everything's crap, nothing works, what a load. What a load of BS. But then you kind of return back to center and you're like, oh, hang on, no, this is actually working in my favor. And you're on the bridge of events. And once the manifestation, that you've got going on, and if it's around an SP, once they come back, if you've been blocked or something like that, everything falls into place and you're like, oh, that's why that happened. And you're more in observer mode, because we want to be in observer mode rather than reactor mode. So when things look like they're not working out there, I want you to just dig in a bit more and be like, actually, things are working out more in my favor. There's so much activity going on behind the scenes that I can't see, and it's just fantastic. And maybe that's why it's taken another minute to come to me, but everything's working out, and it's working out in perfect timing, and it's going to show up in perfect timing, and I'm ready for it. But we also want to be saying it's done. It's done. It's here, it's done. Stepping into that done state brings everything to you much faster in 3D terms. So if anyone has any final questions, feel free to post. You can ask anything manifesting related. I'll just be on here for a few more minutes. But I'm loving connecting with everyone, and I'm loving all the coaching sessions. It's just fantastic. And it's so fantastic to be meeting everyone from all over the world, clients in Europe and in the UK. And of course, in the US and Canada, it's just fantastic. So I am coming on here, I think it's 7 p.m. New York, USA time. It's 10 a.m. in the in Australia and Victoria. Thursday morning, so I'm ahead. I'm in the future. I'm coming to you from the future. But yeah, so happy to be here. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions and you don't feel like you want to post them here, you can feel free to just email me as well. I love connecting with everyone, and thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow and talking about another topic, but today was really about taking your specific person off the pedestal and putting yourself up there, because you are the most important person in your reality. You are the operant power. Everything is coming from you, not at you. Everything that's going on in your 4D is going to be reflected in the 3D. It's never the other way around. So really just sit with yourself, sit in your heart space, meditate, have a better story about your life. Not even a better story, have an incredible story, a magical, beautiful, fantastical story where you're just like, wow, so many magical things are happening to me all the time. And you're just expecting good things. So because you deserve them, and you don't have to prove yourself, you don't have to prove your worth, you don't have to prove your beauty or prove that you're a priority. Like, you're already perfect exactly as you are. So it's stepping into that knowledge of who you are as a beautiful operant power, and you're doing great. I want you to know you're doing really, really great, especially if you're having a rubbish day. You're still doing really great. And it's so important to feel the feels, let them go, and then recenter. Self-regulation, recenter, return to your true self of peace, love, acceptance, fantastic expectations, a beautiful, fantastical imagination where you're trusting, relaxing, allowing, and everything's done. You just have to have a good time. Okay. Hello. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. I'm just about to sign off, but I will be back again tomorrow. Feel free to post any questions on any of the posts or videos on our channel. And yeah, just love working with everyone. And for anyone that's just sort of popped on or that might be new, feel free to subscribe and share and like. And I'm available for live coaching. I also have a bunch of 7-day challenges, 21-day challenge, just all about diving deep in with your specific person and love, diving deep with self-concept, diving deep with healing childhood trauma. If that's something that you feel like it's a massive block and you're not able to just go to the end because you have too many stories going on, I have a beautiful 7-day course for that. And if you're blocked and your person is, you're feeling like your person is gone and they're not communicating with you, I have a 21-day challenge. It's a journaling challenge about beautiful inner conversations with your specific person. And I've had so much success with that with clients. Even one of the clients I was just talking about before did the 21-day challenge, and they had so much consistent communication coming in because they were able to change their story, which is so important. Your story is everything. Who you are, what your I am is everything. And I also offer custom meditations if you're really into meditations and you find that that's really helpful, that gets you in the zone. But loving talking with everyone and getting to know everyone in the coaching sessions and on here, of course, going live. So I'll be back again tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. And I'm so happy that you're all here. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Have a good day or a good evening. Bye.